Former Teen Mom star David Eason's ex's daughter has tragically died at the tender age of 7. He has long struggled with relationships and children. But what happened? More so, which ex did this happen to? Keep reading for more details. David Eason's ex's daughter tragically dies at 7. It has been a rough ride for David Eason ever since he hooked up with former Teen Mom star Janelle Evans. They had a daughter, Ensley, and tied the knot, but things were always up and down. He ended up getting the duo fired from MTV after he killed the family dog, Nugget. Although Janelle initially left, she returned, but they have since ended their marriage. Janelle filed for divorce and has taken their daughter to Las Vegas with her. She has also maintained that David makes no effort to reach out to Ensley, which is heartbreaking. Now, tragedy has struck close to home. David Eason, Janelle Evans. Olivia is David's ex-girlfriend, and they share a son, Caden, 11, together. He also has a teenage daughter, Marissa, who lived with him and Janelle when they were married. Aside from Caden, Olivia had a daughter, Lila, 7. Per Olivia's friend Alice Guy, Lila was in the emergency room several times without a diagnosis, and while in the hospital Friday night, she had a seizure and passed away early Saturday morning. The young girl was described as a bright light who loved her family and Jesus. Alice has set up a GoFundMe to benefit Olivia during this very difficult time. She hoped to raise $15,000 and has already surpassed that number. As of now, it is unclear if the former Teen Mom star has helped or reached out to Olivia. It would make sense for him to do so, given that his son just lost his sister. However, Olivia is billed as an independent but hardworking single mother of her children. Therefore, it seems David is less than involved in this. So much love. Olivia has shared photos of her late daughter in the past, and it was clear that she was radiant. Lila had a sparkle in her eye, and this is an unimaginable loss. At the same time, the community has rallied around Olivia and her family as they grieve. After the goal was surpassed, Alice Guy added this to the GoFundMe page. As the family prepares for the funeral this weekend, Olivia and her family are overwhelmed by the generosity of their friends and family. We started this fund to assist in ongoing needs, not knowing if it would be enough, but knowing every donation helps so much. Again, Olivia and Teen Mom alum David Eason share an 11-year-old son, Caden. So, Caden will need all the love and support he can get as he mourns his sister. It is also unclear if Janelle Evans reached out, given that she was Caden's stepmother for several years. Hopefully, the family can find some healing through love and memories. Are you shocked that this happened? And do you hope the former Teen Mom couple reached out? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. The sudden death of 7-year-old Lila casts a profound shadow, drawing public attention to the intricate, often strained relationships within the orbit of former Teen Mom stars David Eason and Janelle Evans. The often volatile and perennially scrutinized world of former Teen Mom personalities has been plunged into a state of profound collective sorrow and renewed public debate. Olivia, an ex-girlfriend of the controversial David Eason, is navigating an unthinkable tragedy, the untimely death of her 7-year-old daughter, Lila. The news, marked by heartbreaking details of Lila's rapid decline, has resonated deeply, not only for the raw pain of a young life lost, but for the complex web of family connections that tie Olivia to the highly publicized lives of David Eason and his estranged wife, Janelle Evans. David Eason himself has a long-standing, well-documented history of fractured relationships, both romantic and paternal. His tumultuous personal life, frequently playing out in the glaring public eye, has been characterized by episodes of controversy, estrangement from his own children, and a contentious legal record. This latest tragedy, striking at the heart of the family of his biological son, Caden, has cast an intense spotlight on these established patterns, prompting widespread questions about his response, or perceived lack thereof, in a moment demanding profound compassion. The intertwining narratives of past and present relationships, public personas, and intensely private grief converge, creating a narrative that is both heartbreaking and deeply complex for observers of the reality television landscape. An angel taken too soon. The devastating news of Lila's passing reached the public just days ago. instantly gripping the hearts of many who followed the lives connected to the Teen Mom universe. Lila, a vibrant and cherished 7-year-old, was taken far too soon, leaving her mother, Olivia Leadham, and her family engulfed in a wave of unimaginable grief. She was affectionately described by those who knew her as a bright light in their lives, a child whose spirit radiated joy and who held a deep and innocent love for her family and her faith. The circumstances surrounding Lila's death add a layer of profound sorrow and unanswered questions. According to a heartbreaking update shared on a GoFundMe page established by Alice Guy, a close friend of Olivia Leadham, Lila's final days were marked by a distressing medical struggle. She was in the emergency room several times without a diagnosis, and while in the hospital Friday night, she had a seizure and passed away early Saturday morning. The young girl was described as a bright light who loved her family and Jesus. Olivia's mother further confirmed the tragic news to People magazine, lending official weight to the somber announcement. For Olivia Leadham, who has navigated life as a single mother, the loss of Lila represents an almost unbearable void. Her social media accounts in happier times were often adorned with radiant photographs of her 2 children, Lila and Caden, showcasing a mother's profound love and unwavering dedication. In a particularly poignant Instagram post from 2020, Olivia eloquently articulated her feelings, writing, "They are my world and so much more. It almost brings tears to my eyes because they mean more to me than I could ever explain in words. They are my light and my sunshine to my day." These past declarations of love now underscore the monumental scale of her current grief as she faces the unimaginable task of navigating life without her bright light. The GoFundMe campaign further described Olivia as an independent but hardworking single mother of her children, a testament to her strength and resilience, now tested to its absolute limits. The tangled web, relationships connecting lives and tragedies. The ripples of Lila's death extend far beyond Olivia's immediate circle, touching upon the intricate and often volatile connections that characterize the lives of David Eason and Janelle Evans. Olivia Leadham shares an 11-year-old son with David Eason, making Caden Lila's older brother. This means that at the tender age of 11, Caden is now grappling with the devastating and incomprehensible loss of his younger sister, a traumatic experience that will undoubtedly shape his formative years and require immense emotional support. David Eason's familial connections are further complicated by his teenage daughter, Marissa, from a previous relationship. Marissa had lived with David and Janelle when they were married, creating a blended family dynamic that was frequently aired in the public sphere. While Lila was Olivia's daughter with another partner, her biological tie to Caden, David's son, inherently draws the entire extended network into this somber event. The romantic history between David Eason and Janelle Evans has for many years been a central narrative in the Teen Mom saga. Their relationship, which began around 2015 and culminated in marriage in 2017, was an incessant whirlwind of public ups and downs. Their tumultuous union was punctuated by frequent, highly publicized arguments, allegations of domestic disturbances, and ultimately, a series of contentious legal and personal separations that profoundly impacted their shared lives and careers. David Eason's controversial past, a precedent of disengagement. David Eason's public identity has been consistently defined by conflict and a perceived pattern of strained relationships, particularly with his own children. The most infamous episode in his controversial history occurred in 2019, when he admitted to shooting and killing the family French dog, Nugget. He defended his actions by claiming the dog had nipped their daughter, Ensley. This brutal act sparked widespread public condemnation and led directly to MTV severing all ties with both him and Janelle, effectively ending her long and prominent presence on Teen Mom 2. The fallout was severe, culminating in Child Protective Services temporarily removing all of Janelle's children, including Ensley, from her care, a distressing period that further highlighted the instability within their household. Although Janelle initially defended David, even briefly leaving him before returning, their marriage continued its spiral. The final decisive catalyst for their recent separation reportedly occurred in late 2023, when David was allegedly involved in an altercation with Janelle's eldest son, Jace. Jace, whom Janelle had only recently regained full custody of from her mother Barbara Evans after more than a decade of complex legal battles, reportedly fled the home following the alleged incident. This triggered another CPS investigation, further exposing the underlying tensions and potential dangers within their home environment, despite Janelle later announcing that the allegations against her and David had been dropped, and Jace had returned. A recurring and deeply concerning theme throughout David Eason's public life has been his alleged lack of consistent involvement with his children from previous relationships. Janelle Evans herself has publicly stated that David makes no effort to reach out to Ensley, their shared daughter, highlighting a disheartening pattern of parental disengagement from his own biological child. This consistent narrative of perceived paternal absenteeism casts a significant shadow over